me flirting with somebody to get more tea is really no big deal. People asking me about Girl World, dunno. I really can't fucking stand it. I'm so uninspired by her. I'm gonna make stuff that I find super interesting.
Welcome back, Nuggets. This mother clucker's got some thoughts. Let's ruffle some feathers and get into this video. And if you would like to support my tiny pullet of a channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hype this video if you can, and go check out my other videos while you're here. My nuggets. I don't know if you caught that, but I said tiny pullet, and if you don't know, a pullet is basically a hen who hasn't laid an egg yet. So a teenage hen, basically, because my channel has leveled up a little bit. We've officially hit 10K. Thank you so much. I cannot believe that. That is 10,000 nuggets who all like and subscribe to this channel, and I am so grateful for every single one of you for getting me this far. It's surreal to me. I can't believe it. Now, what this means is there is going to be an extra special live stream with a surprise for you all. Now, I'm not exactly sure what the order of this release is going to be because the live stream and this video are going to be very close together. So it's possible you already know what the surprise is. And if you do, head on over to the live stream if it's up. If it hasn't happened yet, don't worry. You don't need to be in it live to actually get the surprise from it, because I know time zones are tricky. So I'm going to work around that. So keep an eye out for it if it's not out already. And as though this day couldn't be any better for me, it's already a glorious day, doing some fun things, hitting 10K. Rachel goes and uploads quite possibly the most perfect video. She is delving down the path that I've been saying for months she needs to maintain. And I think what we're about to see is a conscious choice to lean into that. And my nuggets, we are going to get into this. Now, this is not going to focus as much on Amber Lynn. This is a Rachelynn video, but I'm thinking that I will do a follow-up because there was some very interesting content surrounding the LC bus stream that she did shortly after this video had dropped. So we'll be getting into it. Don't worry, my nuggets. I am all over this. But for now, Rachel is the star of our show. Now, just one day before this video dropped, I was in my live stream basically saying this, and I've been saying variants of it for a couple of weeks now. She will make new mistakes because she can't self-evaluate until someone complains. I agree as well, and that's why we're covering her. I'm just here waiting for the next big mistake. I am a patient mother clucker. Because the reality is, Rachel has been on average making one major cluck up per 2 months. And so she's actually technically a couple of weeks overdue for that. So is that some restraint on her behalf? I don't know. I think she had to get a little bit more comfortable, and yes. Something else that while we've been covering these videos in my lives over the last few weeks, something that's become really apparent is that she was being very soft towards Emily. And this was a point of conversation quite a few different times in these lives where she's believing everything Emily says, where if there is criticism to be held, it's very much softened towards Emily. And that was making us all think that they're still talking, or at the very least, Rachel still has some feelings for Emily in some way, shape, or form. Now, none of us knew how on point that was going to be, but in my last stream, we discovered this.
If you're looking for someone who knows all about my past, they're all ugly as f***, so have fun trying to find that.
Your girlfriend didn't think so, babe.
Okay, so Rachel is getting more comfortable, which means, my nuggets, Rachel will cluck up shortly. She's due for one. Yeah, that's not good. Rachel, what are you doing? See, this is why I say, I think Rachel should have embraced the mean girl. I think if she had have been authentically her, she's a little bit catty, she's very snide towards other women, and I think there would have been an audience, not her current audience, but there would have been an audience for that. That shows me that she's still the same clucking person. Yes, this was literally one day before Ms. Rachelynn dropped this video. Now, there is so much in this video to explore, so much, including the thumbnail. And it's almost like she's dropped little Easter eggs for us to find all over the place. And we're going on an Easter egg hunt, my nuggets. So to begin with, if you haven't seen my previous Rachel videos, I do suggest that you do go watch those because it's literally going to cover everything from beginning to end, including all of her previous cluck ups that weren't quite as big as the last one that happened, but still significant. And in one of those, of course, I'll just remind you that we know that Rachel has admitted on her videos to having a certain kind of attraction to people smoking. We also know that in the flirting, quote unquote, flirting to get the tea from a DV victim, yes, we're not finished with that line yet. We're going to keep remembering that. Emily offered to send her a smoking video, which is what makes us all feel like this flirting was not just normal flirting. This was actually getting into attraction, predilection territory, highly inappropriate for two people who are in relationships, unless, of course, that was part of their relationships and prior discussed and everybody's consenting. But in this thumbnail, she has opted to not only speak about Emily again, to not only insert herself into the story again, to not only touch the poo once again, but put Emily in the thumbnail smoking. Straight off the bat, without even getting into the video, I just want to say an extra big thank you to Rachel for delivering this kind of content, because I feel like this is going to be win-win for everybody. And she's going to lean into the lol cow. She's going to lean into the mean girl. We're going to have lots of behaviorally interesting content to look at. And I think this is the path. This is it. So let's get into it. Without further ado, my nuggets.
Hello, be a good girl and watch this clip for me.
I've never lied about anything serious ever.
That's
Ever.
why.
Ha 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 ha. I think the fuck not.
So can I just say, welcome the clock back, Rachel. There you are. That's the person that we all know you are and are delighted to see again. This is Rachel being authentically her, and I am here for it. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I just want to delve back a little bit just to highlight the little mini journey that she's actually been on for the last month, realistically 3 weeks. So in her previous videos, which I played clips of at the beginning of this video, Rachel had come to the conclusion that clearly she needed to rebrand because she was losing a lot of subscribers, she was getting a lot of hate, and she wanted to go in a different direction, probably with a different audience, right? And she did a video on Jaclyn Hill, which didn't do that great. And then she mentioned that she wanted to do something that was advocating for people, that was actually meaning something that was not, I'm paraphrasing, as trivial as Girl World. And so she did one single video in delving into feminism and how that's represented in the music world. And I did a whole video breaking down why this was hypocritical and like all of the things she could have chosen to actually start with. This probably wasn't the best idea, but this video, as you can see, has been out for 3 weeks and only hit just over 4,000. Now, 4,000 views. Now that for Rachel is extraordinarily low. Prior to all of this going down, she was enjoying videos hitting over 100,000 views regularly, or at least close to it. The fact that she had decided she wanted to go in a different direction, the fact that she had decided that she wanted to stand for something, and then the fact that she only gave it one video as a shot, I think really shows the kind of person that she is. We've already had her demonstrate over and over how money focused she is. And 4,000 views, while personally I wouldn't sneeze at that, that's, but I'm a much smaller channel than she is. This is not going to be earning her the thousands of dollars that she had previously been enjoying. Not only that, but when you're trying to platform pivot like this, you need to give it time for your audience, your current audience, to adjust to it, but also time to start accumulating a new audience. And one video is not going to cut it. This will need to be done over several videos, over a series of months, perhaps, while you're building up that new aspect of your channel. So we're also seeing that not only is she extremely money focused, but she's also impatient. And sure enough, the very next video was back on Amber, regardless of how inappropriate and how weird that looks, after being caught flirting with Amber's, at the time, ex-girlfriend, but now current girlfriend. Oh no, wait, but now ex-girlfriend. You know, you get the drift.
That might be the funniest thing I think I've ever seen. Amberlynn Reid is a proven liar. She admits it herself over and over again on her own channel.
I lied here.
She even admitted it last week on Lolcow Bus when she said this.
Imagine you going through that and thousands of people thinking you lied. Because you lied about the stupidest, smallest shit. Everyone tells little white lies, bitch. I know you have. I know you have.
And statistically, sure, they do.
So this video is interesting for Rachel because she's still trying to bring in a little bit of that intellectual, we're referencing stuff, we are a researched queen over here, but she's also heavily leaning into that kind of scorned ex, mean girl aesthetic that she was building originally in her content. This is the only reference to actually having done research for this. And while her video is focusing on proving to everybody that Amber is a liar, my video is not going to be about Amber is a liar, because, like, come on, my nuggets, we get that. This is going to be solely focusing on Rachel and how Rachel is conducting herself.
But not about big things, certainly not about big things like getting kicked by your girlfriend. Amber Reid is currently using her new position in the Lolcow universe to rebrand herself as some kind of misunderstood victim who did some dodgy things 10 years ago, but we all need to get over it.
So I actually found this really interesting. So Rachel's saying that Amber is using the LCU to rebrand herself. What's interesting to me is that Rachel is also using Amber being in the LCU to rebrand herself. So this video in its entirety is not actually aimed at her current audience, who obviously knows that Amber is a liar. This video is aimed at the new people that are coming through, getting exposure to Amber on the LCU. So Rachel is in fact using this video to boost her image, to come across seeming like she's very level-headed, to come across seeming like she's a normal reaction channel. But of course, we all know that that's not the case. There is so much more history going on here.
And while, sure, some of the awful things that she's done did occur 10 years ago, lots and lots and lots of them didn't. And so in this video and a few upcoming videos like it, I'm going to break down as efficiently and cleanly and shortly as I possibly can some of Amber's most serious lies, because I know there are people who are finding her now because of her existence in the LCU, and they're falling for her bullshit. And I just want to dispense with this facade.
See, it's all for the greater good, my nuggets. Rachel is putting herself out there on her platform to make sure that nobody new falls for Amberlynn's bullshit. Also, I found it interesting that she said she wanted to make it concise and small, because although this video was relatively short, especially for a Rachel video, it was highly repetitive and it actually felt very long while I was editing it. And I'm going to highlight some of those places where this happens. It's almost to a comical level. Like I say, it's almost like she's giving us things to look at and to make comment on. It's perfection.
So we're going to start with the physical abuse lies. Amber really, really wants you to believe that despite having said this...
You saying if I could hit someone, I would? Okay. I can throw this at someone's head. I could take this and throw it.
And hitting tables every time she gets angry.
I am the fucking victim in this. This time I am, you guys. I'm sorry to fucking break it to you. This time I fucking am.
No.
Go ahead. No. Let Amberlynn respond. Let Amberlynn respond.
Not done.
And having been accused herself of physical altercations by at least 3 exes, she wants you to believe that she is not a physical person, and in fact she is the victim of her current girlfriend Emily, who kicked her not once but twice.
Now, this video is very heavily going to be skewed on putting all of the blame on Amber. And I do just want to balance this out, that I've obviously said in previous videos where I've covered some of those clips, saying that she doesn't conduct herself like you would expect a DV victim to come on. When she speaks about these things, she definitely speaks about these things with aggression and with physical violence, even, as Rachel said. But what I also want to balance this video with is that we cannot take Emily as a reliable narrator or a reliable historian. And she herself is also a perpetrator of mistreatment towards Amber. And that's the thing with these two in this like roiling toxicity of a relationship that they've created. They are both victims. They are both perpetrators in different ways. Neither one of them is clean in this situation. Neither one of them is pure victim in this situation. But that is going to be the spin that Rachel is going to try and give in this video, that, oh, Emily is pure victim and, you know, all that stuff. Why these two women, why these three women, I will correct myself, want to be continually involved with each other, I have no idea. I think the allure of drama and chaos and things like that is sometimes exciting for people in relationships, but I just look at this and I just think, I am too clucking old. I am too clucking tired. I could not. I just, not for a single second.
Watch this.
It's so crazy that, like, I can sit here and say, like, I genuinely was kicked by someone, and people are like, nope, that never happened.
Except that, no, it didn't happen. Accusing a proven liar of lying is not crazy. And I'll prove that she's a liar now, just like I have been doing for the last year that I've been covering Girl World on YouTube.
So this is why I say this entire video is just propaganda for new people who are coming in and being exposed to Amber. This entire video, repeatedly, she uses to promote the very videos that got her into hot water in the first place, which is why I say at this point, this is a conscious choice on Rachel's behalf to fully lean into the lol cow. And this is an absolutely viable tactic. I think what I would like to see from Rachel is a little bit more consistency, could be because she's kind of been trying this way for a bit or that way for a bit and not actually committing to anything, which is only serving to actually make her look more disingenuous than she already is. It's almost like she's trying to put on different cosplay outfits just to see how it feels, to see which one gets her the most money or the most views, and this is going to be the one that does it. So consistency from Rachel would be good. Moving on.
So, in a couple of live streams in September of 2025, Amber accused her girlfriend Emily of physical abuse in the form of 2 separate kicks. Amber claimed that she and Emily were truly broken up between January 2025 and August 2025. It was in this August of 25 where they definitely did break up, because Emily started speaking with various reaction channels and private individuals, myself included. She claimed that she was completely done with Amber and that she wanted to tell her side of the story, and so she did. She had long conversations with Mr. Snowflake where she released some text messages. She had the same sort of conversations with me where she sent me screenshots and voice notes and all kinds of proof of Amber being straight up abusive and vile.
Hear that spin, my nuggets. Just, she is lumping herself in with other reaction channels being Mr. Snowflake, at least that we know of, as though, 1, she wasn't paying Emily, and 2, she wasn't actively flirting with this person, which was admitted to by her own mouth. This is like, no, Rachel, you are not like the other reaction channels. You are not like the other creators. You continually insert yourself into their story, into their timeline, and she just relentlessly does it over and over. And I don't think it's a stretch to think that maybe she is still interested, right? This is behavior that makes her look like she's still interested in Emily.
During that period, Emily told Mr. Snowflake that Amber had lied about how her cat Rarity got out, so Mr. Snowflake made this post on purpose to try and bait Amber into telling a new Rarity story, and of course she bit the bait because she's stupid.
This actually stood out to me. Now, I know that this happened. I'm aware that this post was, and the videos were done by Mr. Snowflake. I saw all of that. But the insinuation that he was doing it to directly bait Amber, and the confidence in which Rachel is speaking of that. Now, I don't follow the Mr. Snowflake B-roll channel super closely, just kind of ambiently. So my nuggets, if you have more insight into this and you want to correct what I'm about to say, by all means, jump into the comments. To confidently say that that is why he was doing this act, to bait Amber, to get another Rarity video, unless this was made public as a motivation from Mr. Snowflake, this almost makes it sound like Rachel has an insight into what Mr. Snowflake is doing, which makes it sound like they're talking a lot. This is not the only time that she is going to drop a reaction channel in this video. I would not want Rachel at all to be insinuating that we're talking. Rachel is like a diseased entity at this point, and anybody that comes into contact with her or anybody that endorses her is going to be tarred with the same brush, right? And that's the risk when, you know, you're dealing with somebody like Rachel. She's not a safe entity to have in your circle. So I do wonder if there is communication with Mr. Snowflake, and Mr. Snowflake is getting a lot of side eyes from a lot of you. I know that. He very barely just slipped under the radar with all of this drama, and to have Rachel linking him to her like this, I wouldn't like that if I were him, but hey, maybe he's all for it. Who knows?
And this is when Amber went live and accused Emily of being the one who let her cat out. But crucially, and what we're talking about in this video, this live stream is also the one where she accused Emily of kicking her.
When I went to go walk into the bathroom, she kicked me. She kicked me really hard in my stomach. Really hard. That is the only time that something like physical like that happened. And it was like right in my hernia. So that like really scared me. I will say that.
So I've also covered a video on this. Like I say, this is not going to be a delve into Amber's side of things, but at the time I said that I think that this is made up, and this is not at all giving Emily the benefit of the doubt. It's really not. I think they're both as bad as each other at portraying the truth. So it's a non-issue for this particular video.
The pair have since got back together, although I dare say they'll break up when Amber sees the email that Emily sent me.
Look at her face. Look at, I'm gonna play that again. Look at that. Look how delighted she is at the prospect that she might be breaking up a relationship. Regardless of what you feel about a relationship, this is beyond inappropriate. This is like, you are not just a reaction channel. You are a third party in that relationship. And she's so proud of herself. It's disgusting to insert yourself into somebody else's relationship like that, regardless of who they are. Disgusting, Rachel. But by all means, proceed.
So she alleges 2 kicks, one on the 17th of November, which was the first one where she claims to have been kicked in her hernia, and then a second kick. Amber did not specify the date of this second kick, but the second one was when Amber was allegedly on the sofa. There was another member of Emily's family there, according to Amber, and Emily kicked her off the sofa.
So this one I haven't actually addressed. There is a lot of speculation within the community that this was actually Emily's daughter in the room, and I have very firmly expressed my thoughts about Emily's daughter potentially being exposed to Amber in any way, shape, or form. I put a lot of question on Emily as a mother around her choices of relationship, even just subjecting your child to a public figure online and other children finding it, and just the whole thing. It just reeks of inappropriate parenthood to me. In this particular case, I don't think it's been 100% proven that that was her daughter in the room. But when you think about it, it is kind of, it makes the most sense, because should this have actually happened, like if this scenario is true, what other adult family member would stand by while somebody kicks somebody off a couch? Like, the whole thing doesn't make sense. The whole thing is just, it's just nonsense, my nuggets. All of it is nonsense.
Of course, all of Girl World is desperate to get Emily's leg day routine, but that is by the by.
Oh, we got the catty mean girl. Yes, Rachel. This is who you are. This is you being authentically you. Love to see it. She just can't help herself. Just a little bit of snideness at her. If this doesn't come off as jilted ex-lover, I don't know what does.
These kicking allegations are the ones that I'm interested in today. My theory is that if I can prove in this video, which I can, that Amber is lying about this alleged abuse against her, then it shows that there is a precedent of her lying recently about different kinds of abuse, and it makes it even more likely that she's lied in the past, which of course we know she has, but this video is to prove without a doubt that she has lied, because clearly she's trying to make out like it's not true, and there are new viewers who need to know the law. So this is like a short law snapshot of Amber's kick lies.
So you see what I mean? This is rehashing so much stuff, even stuff that Rachel herself has already made videos on. And to have somebody who has been so close to the relationship of these women, who has inserted herself personally into their relationship, to then have that person analyzing it on this kind of level. Now, I understand I analyze deeply. I'm doing it right now, but I have not inserted myself personally into the relationship. I'm analyzing Rachel. I have not spoken to Rachel personally. I am not her friend. I am not her lover. I am not anything to her. And that's what makes this weird. That's what makes this her being a mean girl lol cow, right? But for that personal history, none of this would be quite as weird as it is.
If Amber lied about Emily kicking her, it's highly likely that she also lied about Casey, Destiny, Jade, Beck, and everybody else. I'll let you be the judge of that in future videos.
So this is the first little taste of what I mean, where she starts to get really repetitive. It's though she thinks we're all idiots. I mean, she's actually said that she thinks we're all idiots, but she will start repeating things over and over in slightly different ways, just in case we didn't catch it the first 7 times she did it. There's a few examples. I'm going to show you a couple, but as we go through, but you'll see what I mean.
So, Amber and Emily went on to get back together despite Emily telling me all kinds of stuff that Amber had done to her, mental, physical, emotional abuse, as well as using her sink as a wiping post and refusing to clean it, being jealous of her child, owing her money, abusing her animals by not letting them out to go to the toilet during the day, among many other things. And despite all of this, Emily appears to have taken Amber back.
I've said it once, I'll say it again. The problem with Amber and her history of lying, and especially when she's been lying about the trivial things, not just the big things, it puts her in a situation where it doesn't really matter what her exes say, what they come forward with, no matter how ridiculous it may sound, it actually sounds plausible. And I really want you to keep this in mind, because the way Rachel portrays this, it's though everything Emily says is truth. And look, it may well be. It might not be. I don't think that Emily has portrayed herself in a way that can be trustworthy to us. So just please apply that filter over everything. Emily may well be lying about everything as well. And while I think that it would be unlikely that Amber has been an absolute perfect girlfriend in this situation, it's also possible that she's not being as bad as what Emily's saying either. It's all smoke and mirrors as far as I'm concerned.
She's also been emailing me, which I'll show in a minute, but my point is that Emily is a slimy snake who appears to be so addicted to those legs that she is willing to sell her soul and put herself in harm's way and disregard the safety of her child and visit this known lying abuser in Oklahoma. But hey, birds of a feather, I guess.
So catty. So catty and smug. Now, if this were anybody else, if this was a collection of completely different people, I would say this is Rachel breaking ties. This is her like fully destroying that bridge to Emily, and this is it. This is her coming clean and, turning a new leaf. Except that it's Emily we're talking about. A woman who has repeatedly gone back to Amber after Amber has said some truly, truly heinous things about her, and vice versa. This is a woman who returns time after time to toxic relationships with chaos and drama. So with that knowledge, what Rachel's doing here could almost be interpreted as an attention ploy to get her back. Like a way to say, hey, Emily, don't forget about me. I'm over here. Remember me, right? And somebody like Emily has a history of responding to this kind of thing in a positive way.
I know I've already played it, but it truly bears repeating.
I've never lied about anything serious ever.
That's
Ever.
why
When I heard Amber say this, I spat out the mini eggs that I was chewing.
Again, I think quite a literal Easter egg. I don't know. This line jumped out to me. It's like, it's weird. Why are you referencing what you were eating? Why are you referencing what you were doing? Are you trying to say that you were that shocked? Or are we including food in a narrative towards somebody that we're trying to get the attention of who has that kind of predilection? Rachel. This mother clucker does not miss these things.
What she said in that live stream was so shocking that it prompted this video, and she really has no one to blame but herself.
No one to blame but herself, because this video prompted this. Do you know what's really funny, my nuggets? When she started doing, the Jaclyn Hill and the feminism video, I was actually thinking to myself, yeah, this is actually starting to get not behaviorally interesting to me. And if she continues down this path, this is actually going to be where I leave off. Like, I'll do my historical deep dive that I'm still getting to, my nuggets. Things keep coming up. I'll do my historical deep dive and then I'll move on. I'll find somebody new to cover. But this is not where we've landed. I'm delighted that we've landed here. I think Rachel is a very, very interesting person to look at because of her motivations and because of the way that, like Amber, she manages to choose the wrong path at every single turn. It almost doesn't matter how many paths are ahead of her. She picks the wrong one every single time. And so now she is going to continue to be behaviorally interesting to me. So no one to blame but yourself, Rachel.
As I've said, there are 2 kicks. When I first spoke to Emily, I asked her about these kicks. Here's a DM that I haven't shown yet, where I said to Emily, did you kick Amber? What happened with the kicks? And this is Emily's reply.
Now, this was interesting to me. This perked my ears up. She's claiming that this is a screenshot from the bunch of screenshots that she had when she did the whole expose, the one that got her into this hot water. I find it hard to believe that she wouldn't have shown everything she had, especially since you can see that the screenshots are being attached by Emily in this screenshot. This rings alarm bells to me, and I'll tell you why, because Emily and I have also been chatting. Let me show you. Emily wrote to me, "We can write whatever we want." I replied, "I know, right? Especially since there isn't even proof of a sender in this context. How long did it take you to set this up?" Emily replied, "About 6 minutes. I timed it. You don't even need any editing skills. I can even make it look like I sent you attachments." And she sent me a lovely attachment of Miss Danny. This is completely fake. This is not even me using Photoshop to make this up. This is a website that you can go to where you can actually fake Instagram messages and make it look like it's all happened. You can tailor the dates, you can tailor the profile photos, everything. Do I think that Rachel did that for this? Not necessarily, but I want it on the table that this kind of thing can be done very easily with no skill level. And this is not even involving AI in any way. This is just something that's online, and putting them side by side, you can actually see how similar this gets. So my point of this is just to cast doubt on every single player in this scenario, because as far as I'm concerned, none of them can be trusted as far as you can throw them. I find it extremely convenient that Rachel is throwing out new screenshots from that same batch. Very interesting. But in any case, if we were to take it for face value, if we were to say this is totally legit, this is what was said. And note that there's no response from Rachel in this screenshot. It's purely just Emily talking. So she said, "Of course, the stories of me kicking her are BS. One of the times she was referring to me kicking her while she was charging at me aggressively after she already pushed me down and landed on me. I put my arms and a leg up in a protective stance as she literally ramped her body into my leg. I did not kick her. I didn't move my leg. It was literally a self-defense pose. I have no idea what she means, how I kicked her off the couch. I don't even know if that's physically possible.
So that is Emily way back when I spoke to her last year, saying that Amber's lying about these kicks.
It's interesting if we're just drawing the parallels between Amber and Rachel, because there are a lot of similarities. These two women are very similar. I think the major differences we see are probably cultural and perhaps education background. But if this were Amber and I'm watching the gesticulation that's happening, I would say Amber was lying. And I just can't help but wonder, do you think it's possible Rachel's lying about this? And what I think it's possible she's lying about is that she didn't include this at the time, that this was from way back when. I don't know, because I can't help but feel that constant communication, or at least regular communication, has been happening between her and Emily, and she's kind of distancing herself from that. Now, this next clip that I'm going to show you, this is an example of the constant cycling language that she uses. I'm actually going to put a counter up on the screen how many times she drives her point home to us in slightly different ways. Let's go, shall we?
So as is usually the case with Amber, we have one party saying something happened and the other party saying that it didn't happen. They can't both be true, it's one or the other. Either Amber is lying when she says that Emily kicked her, or Emily is lying when she says she didn't kick Amber. They can't both be true. There has to be a liar. It can't be both. Their statements are mutually exclusive, so it's one or the other, okay?
So, my nuggets, just in case you're complete idiots, did you catch that both of these stories can't be true? One of them needs to be a liar. They can't both be true. Okay? Yeah, we got that? We got that. Okay. Just in case you missed it, considering that this message had already been said earlier in the video as well, it's like this entire video that she did really could have been a 5-minute video. And although she mentioned that it was going to be concise at the beginning and as short as she could make it, it was extraordinarily drawn out for the content, which I kind of understand because we're talking about somebody who's very money focused. And when you're very money focused and you're putting out a video that you know is going to get a lot of views because she's got the tea, my nuggets, tea that you never knew, she will get more money the longer the video is because the more ad breaks will occur.
However, as I've said, I emailed Emily about this. So I saw the live, I saw Amber say, "I've never lied about anything serious." And I thought, that's definitely not true. So I thought, fuck it, I'm going to ask her.
So the language is really interesting because throughout the videos so far, she's been saying, I emailed Emily. But then when she actually does show us screenshots, she says, well, I was replying to Emily. And I just find the discrepancy in the language interesting. And the screenshot itself is quite telling as well.
So I emailed Emily. Well, I replied to an email from Emily, as you can see here. This was from like 5 days ago. So January 29th, 2026, I emailed Emily.
Now, the inclusion of some of this is interesting to me because on the 22nd of January, Emily messaged her saying, please don't talk about my child on your YouTube, which is valid. And that's actually referencing a video that she did basically covering the leaked photos from Emily at Disneyland with her daughter. So the fact that that was included and the fact that it kind of looks like she didn't reply to Emily, we don't actually know that she didn't reply to Emily because a couple of things could have happened here. It could have been either that she's cut it out of this screenshot or the reply was done not via email form but via DM, right? The fact that she included it, right, that's sus. I think what is trying to be depicted here is that Emily is still contacting Rachel, but Rachel is also kind of trying to make it look like that she's not responding. So it looks like then she ignored that message and a week later said, did you lie when you told me you didn't kick Amber on those 2 occasions? To which a day later, Emily replied, no. Now, the timing of this is interesting to me because this was, now bear in mind the dates on my screenshots are Australian time and Rachel will be a day behind in this context. So she emailed directly after her last video had been uploaded. And if you're in my live, you actually heard me reference that it's interesting that Rachel she did a cluster of videos all close together where I thought maybe she had some time off from her day job. But now it kind of looks like, did she send this and was waiting for a response and then was getting ready to do this video? So that would indicate, pre-thought out intention to make a return to this kind of thing, even though she's making it sound like it was in response to something that Amber said on a live. I don't know. All I'm saying, there are many different things that we could speculate here. What I'm saying is that this is sus. This email screenshot is highly suspect to me, and I will not be surprised if something comes out in the future videos, or if she inevitably does an apology video and then wants to donate to charity or some rubbish like that. The shit cluckery is strong with this one, so something will come from it. I'm just putting a little marker here. Watch this space, because something is sus right here.
So even now, when they're sorting it out, I can still get a reply from Amber Reed's girlfriend. The fact that she would even reply to an email from me, a reaction channel, is fucking scandalous.
She loves it. Look how much she loves it. She is so delighted that she can still get Emily, with her predilection Emily, to pay attention to her. She is so delighted that she can prove to Amber that she can get her girlfriend's attention. Meanwhile, as far as we know, Rachel has an existing relationship, and I don't know the situation with their relationship. I don't know if they're on their way out. I don't know if they have an open relationship. I don't know the details. Mostly because, my nuggets, I haven't inserted myself into Rachel's personal life. But this is just so inappropriate. And remember what I said about Emily responding to this kind of chaotic and dramatic language? This sounds like a, hey, Emily, pay attention to me, come and get me. Right? Am I insane here? This is what this is, right? And like I say, if you haven't seen my previous videos, this may not make as much sense as it could. If you can, go back and listen to all of the stuff that I've done, and then watch that bit over again with all of the historical context. There is layers and layers of manipulation going on here.
If the two of you are trying to sort your relationship out behind the scenes, and Amber is seemingly backing you up on LolCow Live and not letting anybody talk about you, why the fuck are you replying to me, a reaction channel? Surely you must have known I was going to share this email, right? I owe you no loyalty. You're helping me prove your girlfriend is a lying scumbag.
All of this just designed to break up Emily and Amber's relationship. It's wild to me. And I actually mentioned on, I think it might have been on one of my lives, I think we can tell when Amber and Emily are in a state of being together or on a state of a break, because when they're together, I think Emily puts down some pretty firm boundaries to Amber about what she can and can't talk about. And because Amber currently has a girlfriend, she has someone validating her, she follows those rules. But then when there's a break or a quote breakup, that's where Amber's tongue gets very loose, because she's got no accountability anymore, which any sane, put together adult would see that and go, wow, that's a horrendous person. I'm never going to go back to them. But Emily goes back every single time because, for whatever reason, I think the attention of this situation is part of Emily's currency. I think we're dealing with a very complex set of predilections when we're talking about Emily.
So anyway, that's the email. It's very clear that deep down, Emily's loyalty lies with herself and absolving herself of the lies that Amber's told about her. She gives no shits about their relationship. She is a loose cannon. She is not to be trusted. This relationship is a fucking joke. And I just think, and I'm sure you'll all agree, Emily wants this. She wants the drama. She loves it.
Okay, so if Rachel is consciously admitting that Emily loves this, and then Rachel does a video like this, then Rachel knows what Rachel is doing. That's my conclusion there.
Amber fucking hates me. So the fact that her girlfriend would reply to my emails is crazy.
And again, it's another example of a clip where it's like, if this were any other reactor saying this, oh, Amber hates me. For the record, my nuggets, I'm pretty sure Amber hates me. And that's normal. I think that is a normal sentence. But when you're overlaying the fact that Rachel has flirted with Amber's ex-girlfriend, this comes off so petty and so scorned, and a jilted ex-lover. It's so obvious, it's palpable, and why the cluck am I even highlighting it? Because you can all see this clear as day as well. Am I right, my nuggets?
Now remember, the purpose of this video I'm making is to prove that she's lying about being kicked by Emily, because this would be an accusation of physical abuse which would be provably untrue from Amber, which would refute her claim that everybody tells white lies and she's never lied about anything serious. That's why we're doing this, right? Because if we can prove she's lied about Emily, then it helps to exonerate other exes and make it even more explicitly clear that she is fucking lying. And she deserves every second of the criticism that she receives. She's trying to make out that these detractors and reaction channels are awful people who spew lies about her and make shit up. That's not true. All this video contains is my opinion and some fucking cold hard proof. So you can sit on that and fucking spin, Amber.
Oh, she loves this so much. She loves it so much. So I wouldn't call what is delivered in this video as cold hard proof. Now, maybe it's my upbringing, maybe it's my background and my trauma response speaking here, but I don't call things proof unless I have been able to personally witness or validate to a level that satiates my curiosity around being able to build any other possible outcome around that, and concludes with a single outcome where other things are not just improbable but out and out impossible. This, what she's calling proof in my book, is not at all proof. It is a bunch of speculation from an ex-lover.
Anyway, so when she went live in a live stream which is now deleted, I cover it extensively in this video here, she uses her journal to attempt to prove that her stories, the ones that she was peddling about Emily at the time when they weren't together, were true. The live stream was multiple hours, but there were 2 hours and 12 minutes where she's reading this journal. She goes the whole way through November, and she never mentions being kicked. This alone is suspicious enough, right? She would have written it down. She'd written down all kinds of other stuff, but no mention of the kick. Amberlynn Reid is a daily journaler, according to herself, and she alleges 2 kicks, neither of which were mentioned in the live stream. Smells like bullshit. Probably is bullshit.
Now, a lot of the rest of her video is going to go into basically proving that Amber is lying. I'm going to include some clips because the way Rachel responds or acts is behaviorally interesting, but it's stuff that we've all heard before. None of this is new. None of this is groundbreaking. None of this is tea.
I was in the chat, so I popped up in the chat and I said, "No, everyone, in half an hour, no mention of these alleged kicks." And Amber read that and got very, very angry.
Oh, you want me to talk about the kick? When she kicked me? Oh, we can do that, honey. Rachel, we can do that, honey. Oh, we can do that, honey. We can do that.
Amber spent, and I shit you not, it was a full 10 minutes of this live stream looking for this alleged kick in her diary. She fumbles and flips and goes through the pages. She can't find it. There's nothing there because she never wrote it because it didn't fucking happen.
Now, if I recall correctly, it's hard to fact check these because Amber has taken down all of her videos, so I can't construct a timeline. I'm going off my memory, which is not perfect, my nuggets, but correct me if you think this timeline is wrong. The way I remember this video happening, Rachel commenting in this live was right before Rachel put up her quote-unquote transparency post about offering to pay Emily, which means, if I'm right about that, I'm like, I want to say 95% sure that this is the timeline. That means that while Rachel was commenting in Amber's live stream, she was talking to Emily at that time. While I think that commenting in this live stream is probably the least egregious thing that Rachel has done in this situation, it's still inserting herself into the storyline, personally, a lot more than other reaction channels do. Like, if this was the only thing, like I know Karina Kaboom has been in Amber's lives and things like that. If that was the only thing, it wouldn't at all be suspect to me. But knowing everything else and knowing the timeline, this is weird. It's clucking weird.
And when she finally does claim to find a kick, one of the two, it's very clearly shoehorned in.
She went crazy to me a couple days ago, and I finally popped off, and I told her to fuck off. Sorry. She kicked me. She denies it, but it happened. It was right in my hernia, and I could not believe it. She says the most awful things to me sometimes, so there it was.
Couple of things very wrong with this. So first of all, the way she speaks here, she clearly has shoehorned this in to the end of this page. She writes barely anything about it. It's so short. The way she speaks when she says it, it's obvious that she's shoved it in and that it's not really there.
Rachel actually goes on in her video to analyze the face Amber pulled in a different time that she was reading something out that was fake. And I don't inherently disagree with the message that Rachel is portraying here against Amber, but we have an ex-lover analyzing their ex-lover on such exquisite detail that we're looking at how a mouth moves. This is why I think it's so important for reaction channels to create the distance. And you all know my nuggets that early on in my channel, I thought it would be a good idea to message Amber. And I actually learned really quickly from that's just not where I want to be. I think it's important for us to create that space, to create that objectivity, to be almost on the outside of the aquarium looking in. And somebody in my live said this so well. She said, Rachel is offering the swim with the sharks variant. Yes, she is. And that is a perfect way to say it.
It's not possible for all of these things to be true. She's either lied in the journal when she wrote it, which I believe was written to defend her story anyway and was never real, but even if the journal was real, she lied then on November 4th when she wrote it in her journal, or she lied on November 17th when she said on her live stream that Emily kicked her in the hernia. It can't be both, okay? It can't be the 17th and the 4th. It's one or the other. One of them must be a lie. Right? That is absolute proof that she has lied about the kick.
But did you get that? Yeah, we got that? We're okay. All right. So I cut out a major portion of this video. And look, if you want to, the content is analytical and very deep dive. If you want to go watch it, it's on her channel. Go nuts. For our purposes, she's basically going to spend an excessive amount of time cycling through ways of saying that Amber is lying in all different perspectives and different ways. And look, this content is clearly not for us. It's not. This is, as I mentioned, part of her rebranding herself, just like Amber is trying to rebrand herself. These two women are social twins. It's uncanny. It's so uncanny, and it couldn't be more perfect if Rachel actually planned this as the outcome. So it's there on her channel if you want to see it. I just feel like it's all been done.
And to top it all off, her own girlfriend has confirmed that she did lie again, even though they're trying to fix their relationship and they're in their healing era. Emily, you're a mug. Break up with Amber, focus on your child and your job, stop seeking out reaction channels and getting involved in all of this stuff. If any part of what you've said about Amber is true, you are fucking delusional for giving her another chance. It's embarrassing, frankly, that Emily is even giving Amber the time of day. Like, actually properly embarrassing and tragic.
I know the words on the surface sound like they're demeaning Emily, but the real underpinning message there when you cut through all the fluff is, Emily, don't be with Amber. You're better than that. You have other priorities. Break up with her and seek better for your life. It's actually a very soft and very kind message underneath everything. And it leads me to think, to ponder, who could be better for Emily? Who could possibly fill those shoes?
Emily is a total fucking idiot, in my opinion, but that doesn't mean that she kicked Amber, right? And I think all the evidence points to the fact that on this thing, she is telling the truth. I don't care about Emily. I'm not trying to defend Emily. It just so happens that Amber has lied about her, and we can prove that. So we kind of have to in order to aim at Amber and pick away at her lies and her bullshit, you know?
This to me feels like she knows that she's gone too far leaning into the support of Emily, and she's just trying to justify it to us, just trying to dial it back a little bit, because I think that while she does want to insert herself in this dynamic, I think also part of her wants to be seen to not be interested in Emily. Now, that could be the backlash, but it could also be her actual relationship. I don't know how much her girlfriend knows. Surely, all of this went out on the farm. She's been fully doxxed. There are photos of her. Surely she knows something, right? But perhaps Rachel is trying to create a little bit of plausible deniability. Maybe I don't know. It doesn't sit quite right in my ear, and I always like to highlight when. Sometimes when things seem sus but don't make sense in the moment, it works itself out in future videos. And it does sound like she's already made mention in the video, but I didn't include it. And she will mention it again, that there are going to be more of these videos that she's basically making geared towards these new people coming in from LCU.
Also, Amber, and this is me speaking to you directly, if you're not scared and if you're a bad bitch, because I know you're trying to bait reaction channels into coming on your shitty little show, I'm not going to. I'm not interested.
I think the cluck not. You're not convincing anybody, Rachel. She brings it up so often. It is so clear that she's kind of playing the hard to get, and maybe she's trying to save face because she wasn't the reaction channel chosen. She absolutely wants to go on that show.
But if you're as bad of a bitch as you say you are, I'm going to edit this video nice and short and nice and tight, and you can react to it on Lolcow Bus and explain to me where I'm wrong. But we both know that you're not going to do that. And yes, this is me being smug.
Rachel, making a video and telling Amber to react to that video on LC Bus is wanting to be on LC Bus. This is her still able to find a way on, even though they filled the spot that really should have been Rachel's. I think we all want to see Rachel on that show. This is very, very transparent, Rachel.
Because you are a liar. I know it, you know it, everybody knows it. It's so obvious to me now that she is the female Boogie 2988, which explains why Keemstar likes her so much. Maybe we'll get a wrestling match between her and Foodie Beauty. How good would that be? Can you imagine? Ding ding, Amber and Foodie in the ring together. That would be so funny. Sounds like something from a Jawbone video.
Just drop Jawbone really quickly there. Now, Jawbone, to his credit, has said that he stands by friends and that's just what you should do. And I've mentioned in a video before that absolutely, if you're going to take that stance, I think it's a valid ethical line to abide by. But it does mean that you are going to get tarred with the same brush. And I do wonder, considering that he is still losing subscribers and he is a very small channel, would he appreciate being mentioned in this way? Maybe he would. Maybe he likes the clout that he might get from that. I don't know. I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't. I would not want in any way, shape or form to be seen as a collaborator with Rachel.
Anyway, that's it. More lies to come, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, so she basically insinuates a couple of times in the video that she is going to keep making these videos. It sounds like she's going to address each lie in a video, and this one was the alleged kicks. Now, Rachel dropped this video only hours before Amber was due to go live on LC Bus. And I think that timing was intentional because the timing of this video going up doesn't necessarily match the timing of her other videos going up, because usually Rachel does not release while I'm awake, and she did this time, so it was a delayed video. I'll do a completely separate video for Amber's response to this, but I did just want to include just a little bit of it being introduced to Amber on live. And clearly there had already been conversations with Emily happening, and then she went on live. To her credit, I mean, she hasn't missed a day. I didn't see that coming.
Tell everyone the truth, Amber, about why you're having a bad day. Could it be because you and your girl have split up and she's talking to reaction channels such as Rachel again? Why is she no longer in the Discord?
What am I supposed to be responding to?
Why is she
Why
not
are
in
you
Discord?
having such a bad day?
I'm having a bad day all around, like finding out about Scooter. I'm not getting much sleep. I mean, I told Tommy I needed like a break.
Like a break in the relationship?
Yeah, like just give me some space. So we don't have to talk about that either. Today is not my day. Make me eat more garlic. I'd rather do that.
Today's not.
Okay, period. Let's get another super chat and hopefully it lands on the garlic.
So, look, it's hard for me to tell whether this is all just part of the drama or whether they have actually taken a break. One thing that I'm almost certain on is that they will eventually get back together. Now, if they have actually taken a break, I think we'll probably see Emily revisiting reaction channels. We'll probably see Amber having a fairly loose tongue on her LCU show. And I have no doubt that Rachel will be there to insert herself in every way possible into this relationship in the weirdest and most inappropriate way. But it's gonna make for interesting viewing for us, isn't it, my nuggets? Yeah. Tell me what you think. This was a lengthy video. I know you like the lengthy videos, but there was a lot to cover, and I think that this turn of events is very interesting. But don't forget to keep an eye out for that live, or go find it if it's already up. I will label it 10K celebration surprise, and yeah, definitely head in there to see what my surprise is. But if you're still here listening to me, thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you, and a big thank you to all of my clucking crew who support on YouTube memberships or on Patreon, and there is members only content over there waiting for you if you like, as well as ad-free viewing if you join the Patreon. But I do believe that is all the clucks I have left to give. Stay golden, my little nuggets, and I'll catch you next time. Okay, the video's over, but I just want to celebrate my official Shookin' Snack crew by sharing their sponsored videos for this one. Thank you so much, everyone. This is January Snack Crew, thanks to Amy and Emlyn, and they are sponsoring Little Axel and Tiny Kylie. Little Axel, he is a rooster that we technically rescued. I consider it a rescue. It's not that he was in a bad situation, but something bad would have happened had he not found a home. So he came along as a rooster for Salt and Pep, but we quickly found out that little Axel is in fact all lover, no fighter, and he needed a few more girls, hence the Kylie and Danny additions. He has absolutely no fight in him. He's all sweet boy, to his detriment sometimes, but he's very good with his girls. And one time, a baby rabbit did in fact enter the coop, and he decided to take his chances and, you know, test out his bravado on this baby bunny, and he did his biggest and bestest collar flex, and he did a crow at it, and the baby bunny was in fact unfazed. So that's Axel's, that's what he's got in regards to, you know, rooster defense, but he's such a gentle boy. So little Kylie is Danny's sister, and we covered Danny a couple of Snap Crews ago, but she is a little splash silky that we got, as I mentioned, for Axel to add to his coop because he requires, let's say, more hens than other roosters do. But Kylie is so insanely sweet. She is one of those hens that just kind of is all sweet all the time, although she does get unexpectedly angry at things, including one time I walked out in thongs, so my toes were showing. She got angry at my toes. On occasion, she will get angry at my gumboots as well. And her little anger noises are like little it's very cute. She's very sweet. Okay, so this is going to be January Snack Crew for all. Thank you so much. Today you are sponsoring Nikki. Now, I know Nikki had a turn last time, but she and another hen that I'm going to be covering this month are actually molting, and that is a very uncomfortable and very draining time for them. It's kind of like, you know, if you cut your fingernail too short and it's very sensitive, that's what they experience with their pin feathers. So I thought it might be nice to give them a bit of a treat. Now, Nikki is going to look very anxious because I've actually locked Freddie and Florence away, because if you remember, Miss Florence is in fact a treat void, and if she is around, treats somehow just get sucked into her orbit. And so I've put them in the coop so Nikki can just have Tuna by herself. But Nikki is, as I mentioned last time, super smart, and she will remember and hold grudges for years. And last time I separated her out like this, it was for medical treatment. So she's a little bit sus of me, and that's what you're seeing there. But she's taking her treats, and the extra protein in the tuna is going to be really good for her. But this is January Snack Crew, sponsored by Carly and Bobay. Thank you so much. This is going to be for Tay-Tay and Miss Gwen. So Tay-Tay, I have technically introduced at the end of a video before, but not on a Snack Crew. Now Tay-Tay actually has a girl's name. He is named after Taylor Swift. Because for the longest time we thought that Tay-Tay was a hen. He was doing all of the hen behaviors. He even looked like a hen. He tried to lay eggs. He, for all intents and purposes, was a hen until he crowed and started growing spurs and became a rooster, obviously. But by that stage, he had learned his name, and so there was no changing it. But he's an incredibly special boy, and he is definitely our king rooster. He takes it upon himself to look after everybody in the coop, make sure that everybody is okay, make sure there's always a boy on watch, and they all work together like that. But Tay-Tay takes his role really seriously. He's a bit of a special boy. Now, you did, there were requests in my live for videoing Special Boy time, but he didn't really want to participate, and I'm not gonna force them to do things they don't want. So I thought I'd show you taking them for a walk instead. And this is Walkie's time. This was started because Miss Gwen, who I'm going to cover next, thanks to Bobay, is sponsoring Gwen. She needed to lose some weight and was on a health journey, and so they go for walkies, and I literally take chickens for a walk and let them cruise around and get some exercise and all that kind of thing. Miss Gwen also went last time as well, but she's also molting, and when Gwen molts, it's like a really hard molt. Sometimes chickens will do it gradually and to the point where you can't really see any difference in their plumage, but when Gwen molts, it all comes at the same time, so that, you can imagine, is really draining for her. And I've separated her out here just to give her her treats, because when Gwen molts, Miss Brittany can be a real witch with a bee, if you know what I mean. And she just kind of wants to take all of her food and everything, so it's just going to be easier to keep Gwen separate and make her feel more relaxed, and she can enjoy her tuna treats. And once again, an extra big thank you to Carly and Bobay for sponsoring Tay-Tay and Gwen today. They absolutely love their snacks, and there are still 5 spots left on the Patreon Snack Crew, so if you wanted to participate, if this looks like fun, head on over there, exclusively on Patreon.
Hey! I'm gonna go watch another video. Let's go!